Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. You might have heard some buzz swirling around the NFL lately, and it's not just the usual off-season chatter. No, this is something that could really shake up the NFC West and give the Seahawks a significant boost heading into the next season. Rumors are swirling about a potential trade involving A.J. Brown, the dynamic wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seahawks. And let me tell you, if this happens, it's going to be a game-changer for Seattle's offense, potentially elevating them to new heights and making them even more formidable contenders for the Super Bowl. First, let's talk about the context. The Eagles, after a solid 10-7 season in 2025, are clearly in a bit of a rebuild mode. Their offense looked good at times but struggled to close out games and generate consistent big plays towards the end of the season. Their defense also faced challenges, especially in the secondary, giving up a 68% completion rate in 2025. With the team having just re-signed Jalen Hurts to a big extension, they now have around $16 million in cap space, but they're looking to reset and rebuild strategically. The priority now is acquiring draft picks to bolster the secondary and address their aging defensive line, which averaged only 3 sacks per game last season. On the other side, the Seahawks are sitting pretty with about $26 million in cap space. They're already a team on the rise, with a solid core led by Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker, and a talented receiving group that includes DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. But adding a player like A.J. Brown could be the missing piece that takes their offense from good to elite. Think about it. Brown, at 28 years old, is a physical freak, a true mismatch nightmare for defenses. Since entering the league in 2019, he's amassed over 500 receiving yards, scored 52 touchdowns, and averaged nearly 88 yards per game. His yards after catch ability is top-notch, with an average of 5-6 yards per reception, and he's proven to be a clutch player, especially in contested catch situations, leading the league with a 55% contested catch rate among big receivers. Now, why would the Eagles consider trading him? Well, it's all about cap management and strategic rebuild. After re-signing Hurts, they've freed up some space but need to make moves to rebuild their secondary and defensive line. The idea is to offload Brown's hefty 4-year, $100 million contract, which is quite a significant investment, but one that could be worth it for a team looking to reset and focus on building a more balanced roster. The Eagles are reportedly eyeing draft picks, specifically a first-round pick in 2027 and a second-round pick in 2028, in exchange for Brown. This would give them the ammunition to address their secondary and defensive line needs, which were exposed last season, especially with their secondary allowing a high completion percentage and struggling to contain big plays. For the Seahawks, acquiring Brown makes a ton of sense. Their offense could become a true nightmare for defenses, especially with the pairing of Brown and Metcalf. Picture this: Brown, known for his physicality, speed, and ability to make big plays, would be a perfect complement to the deep threat Metcalf. Together, these two would create mismatches all over the field. Brown's ability to generate big plays, averaging over 300 yards receiving in 2025 with 10 touchdowns, would open up the field for Geno Smith, boosting the passing efficiency and making the Seahawks' offense much more explosive. In fact, if Brown joins the team, projections suggest we could see over 200 yards and 11 touchdowns from him in 2026, with a significant increase in EPA per pass attempt, perhaps around 0.40, which is top tier among wide receivers. And it's not just about adding yards and touchdowns. Brown's presence would fundamentally change how defenses play Seattle. His ability to stretch the field and win contested catches would force defenses to double him, opening up opportunities for Lockett underneath and for Walker in the running game. His contested catch success rate is a league leader, and that kind of clutch performance in tight situations is exactly what the Seahawks need to push them over the top in close games. Plus, his yards after catch ability means he can turn short passes into big gains, stretching defenses vertically and horizontally. That's exactly what Seattle needs to be a more unpredictable and dangerous offense. Now, what about the impact on the Seahawks' playoff chances? Well, the odds are already pretty good, but with Brown, they could see those odds improve significantly. According to some models, the Seahawks' Super Bowl odds could jump from around plus 15, 0 to as low as plus 500. That's a huge increase. In the playoffs, Brown's proven ability to perform under pressure with a career red zone touchdown rate of around 79% makes him a true X factor. He's the kind of player who can flip the script in high-stakes moments, especially in critical playoff games. His physicality and ability to make contested catches in the red zone could be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. Think about it. Adding Brown would not only improve their offense, but also send a message to the rest of the league that the Seahawks are serious contenders. It would elevate the team's profile and make them more dangerous in the postseason, especially against top-tier defenses like the 49ers. The NFC West is already tough, but if Seattle manages to pull off this trade, it could be the move that elevates them to a new level. Of course, trades like this are never simple, and there's always the question of whether the Eagles will actually bite. They're in a rebuilding phase, and Brown's contract is hefty, but the potential return, 2 high-value draft picks, could be appealing for a team looking to reset and build for the future. The Seahawks, on the other hand, are in a window where they're trying to maximize their Super Bowl chances, and bringing in a talent like Brown would be a bold step forward. In terms of the overall NFL landscape, this trade would create a ripple effect. The Eagles would gain draft capital and flexibility, while the Seahawks would add a proven star capable of changing the game at any moment. It's exactly the kind of move that shifts narratives and energizes fan bases. Imagine the Seahawks, a fence with Brown stretching the field, Metcalf dominating in contested catches, and Walker running behind a more open, explosive offense. That's the kind of vision that gets fans excited for the upcoming season. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. We've seen big trades before that haven't materialized, and the NFL can be unpredictable. But the signs are there. Insiders suggest it's a real possibility, even if nothing is official just yet. The NFL offseason is all about these whispers, and sometimes the biggest moves happen right when you least expect them. For Seahawks fans, this could be the kind of move that defines a season and sets the stage for a deep playoff run. As we look ahead, it's worth keeping an eye on how this story develops. The Seahawks are always looking to strengthen their roster, and a trade for A.J. Brown would be a statement that they're all in on contending now. With Geno Smith leading the charge and a defense that's steadily improving, adding a player like Brown could push Seattle into the upper echelon of NFL contenders. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time, especially if it means finally breaking that playoff drought and making a serious push for another Super Bowl appearance. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think the Seahawks should go all in and trade for A.J. Brown? Would you be willing to give up those draft picks for a player who could change the franchise's fortunes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. We're in an exciting time, and whatever happens next could be a season to remember. Let's keep the faith and keep the hype alive. Go Hawks!